Hi all, I wanted to make a quick video about a two indicator setup that can be productive. Because of the way the graphs have gone today, I think today is a very good day to explain this setup. So let's go ahead and do that. Before I go ahead and explain the setup, I want everybody to know that this is an educational channel. All content over here is for the sake of education. Kindly read the disclaimer you see on the screen and in the description below. With that said, let's proceed. So we'll do the setup on the 5 minutes time frame. We generally are using the 5 minutes time frame most of the time. As you can see, I've got identical Nifty 50 spot chart on the right hand side, and on the left hand side one indicator is constant among the two and the other one is different. All right, so first I'll make them both constant, and now I shall make them little different. That's it. All right, so let's go ahead and discuss this indicator. Okay, first I'll tell you the indicator that is constant in both of them. It is the speed trend analyzer by Zimmerman. It is my new favorite. It's one of the most accurate indicators I've come across, and the beauty about this indicator is it's not only very accurate on the lower part of the screen, it also gives a moving average on top. It also colors the candles on top. So actually it's an all-in-all indicator. You probably don't need another indicator. If you're just using this trend speed analyzer by Zimmerman, you're most likely done. If that only that one indicator is on, the screen would look like this. But then it gets a little difficult judging, where the support and resistance is. That's why we have to use something on top to give us some idea of support and resistance. All right, so we'll start with the left. Both of them are Nifty 50 spot chart. So this indicator is speed trend analyzer. I'm using it in a default settings. It's speed trend analyzer by Zimmerman. It's in its default settings. The only thing that I've done is I've changed the color. This moving average line, I have made it brighter, and for down I'm instead of red using purple. For this green I'm using this one. This one too is this one. This red is this normal red, and then this red also is this normal red. Earlier I was using this green over here and a brighter red, but it was getting a little too bright to look at it. So I'm just using the fluorescent green on the moving average line along with the bright purple for showing a downtrend. But on this I'm using normal colors and not going very hardcore because it becomes too bright to look at on the screen. Apart from that, in the input section there is no change at all. It's all in default settings. All right, in the style section also I've disabled the tables. It gives some kind of a tables. We don't want that. Labels and values at the bottom are disabled. Apart from that, nothing is changed. It's all working on its default settings. All right, maybe this line I have made this moving average I have made the thickness 2. That's it. But in the input section, no tampering is done with the numbers and figures. It's all default. All right, there we go. So that is speed trend analyzer. On the left hand side we will use a simple indicator called 5MZ. 5MZ does nothing. It does only one thing, that it shows the first candles high and low for the day. It's also got this median, I think, that it shows. No, it's also got a moving average that it shows, but we don't want to see it, so we'll disable it. This P high and P low it shows, we don't want to see it. I think it's pivot high and pivot low, we don't want to see it. This labels and this at the bottom, we don't want to see it. Actually you can keep them on if you want, but I don't want to see it. And by default it comes in some other colors. So I have just chosen white because I want to see the first 5-minute candle high and low. That's it, and I don't want to see anything else it shows. If you want to see the moving average also, then you can click on it. The moving average may be something like between 20 and 30. You can figure it out by adding another moving average and seeing how smoothly it overlaps with this. By the looks of it, it looks something like between 20. It must be between 25 and 40. All right, but I don't want to see this moving average. The moving average provided that this by the speed trend analyzer is already good enough. This is approximately EMA 26. Speed trend analyzer is EMA 26 approximately. CM-EMA trend bars is EMA 34 exactly, and NSDT HAMA is EMA 55 exactly. Trend speed analyzer is approximately EMA 26. It's not exact. The mathematics are a little different, I think. It does not exactly overlap, but more or less it's EMA 26. All right. So I just want to see the high and low. The idea of trading will be very simple in this case. The moment it breaks the first 5-minute candle low and it's below, and this moving average is purple, we go short. Very simple. The moment it breaks on top the 5-minute high, we go long, but the EMA also should be showing green. You see over here, it goes up, it comes down to retest the 5-minute high, and then again goes up. All right, so that retesting will always happen. Sometimes on the way down also it will retest. Sometimes here it has not retested, but it can happen that it will come down, retest, bang this again, and then fall. That also is a possibility. Sometimes while going up, today it has retested, sometimes it may not retest, it may just keep going up. So just keep that in mind. Apart from that, if you can coordinate this with the lower section also, that's great. So as you can see over here, when the moving average line turns from purple to green, bottom also turns from red to green, and then from here itself the bullish trend begins. If you had gotten in over here and then gone all the way till here, even not till the total top, even till here, that is 393 points on Nifty. For Nifty, 393 points is really big. It's not a joke. That's approximately like 700 to 800 points, or maybe even 900 points on Bank Nifty. All right, so 393 points on Nifty is not a joke. Does not happen every day. All right, so the first combo is we use speed trend analyzer with 5MZ. The second combo is we use the speed trend analyzer with Camarilla pivots. This is the Camarilla pivots that I'm currently working on. Have discussed this several times with the members on the channel or the subscribers on the channel. My settings are this by default. Now what I've done is by default these lines are green. I have made them white so that it's more visible, and I don't want to see the L1, H1, L2, H2. Camarilla pivots are only, I mean, the strength of the pivot is generally considered after L3 or S3 at the bottom and R3 or H3 on the top. This by default is called R3. This author has decided to call it H3. This by default will be S3 normally. This author has decided to call it low 3. Actually, it's generally called support 3, and this is called resistance 3. Here it's called high 3, whatever. So H3 and L3 is important for us. We don't want to see the 1 and 2 of that, so I've disabled it. Even if you enable it, you will find that they come in dimmer colors than the remaining. All right, because the author also, if you read the literature, mentions that only above L3, only above H3 and below L3 is important. So we'll just disable it. We don't want to see it. All right, and we have made the remaining green. Generally, by default, the indicator comes with green. Apart from that, we have not made any significant changes to values over here. It is by default, whatever the value it is at, we have not changed anything. In the style section, both the things are ticked. We click OK. That's it. Here also you see, this is for people who want a little more reference. This is not enough for them. They want to see a little more support and resistance kind of lines on the screen. This Camarilla pivot is very, very accurate. It is the best Camarilla pivot that I have come across so far. That's why I'm using it. I used to use Camarilla pivots earlier, then I had switched to Fibonacci pivots, which I find very accurate. I still use Fibonacci pivots, but this Camarilla pivot is extremely good. If I had to design a Camarilla pivot, it will most probably look like this. So this really works for me. All right. This blue line that you see over here is the pivot. Don't pay too much attention to that. What you need to pay attention to is L3. If it breaks below L3, short. If it goes above H3, go long. That's it. If you just follow this simple rule with Camarilla pivots, H3 and above, long, L3 and below, short, and the moving average needs to be supporting you. All right, you will do well. Even here, if you just match it with the bottom indicator, even though you don't actually need to see it, but yeah, it's good if you match it over here. When it turns from red to green, the moving average turns from purple to green. Great. It starts going up. Here also you see it goes above the L3 line, comes back to retest the L3 line, and then again goes up. The safer bet would be to go after the H3 is broken over here. Once this H3 is broken, you go. Even H3 is retested, so it's testing the, once it goes above the L3, it's coming back to retest the L3, and once it's breaking the H3 also, it's coming back to retest the H3. So it's a little tricky that way, but you get the idea, right? So whichever one suits you better. They both are great in what they do. Some people may not want to see the bottom indicator at all, so just double click on the screen. If you just double click, the bottom indicator will disappear. One important thing is, on all my videos, always make sure this section, right click, the scale price chart should be ticked. If you don't tick it, then there are a lot of times where the charts will not look right. All right, so just make sure that this scale price chart is always ticked whenever you're watching my videos. On my videos, this is always ticked. All right, so that's it, guys. This is the combo. Use 5MZ with speed trend analyzer, that's one, or use speed trend analyzer with Camarilla pivots, your choice. This Camarilla pivot is by, about the script, I'll just mention it's by Chipmunk. What I'll do is I'll mention the indicator name stating that the speed trend analyzer is the main indicator, and then I'll write Camarilla pivot optional, 5MZ optional. All right, I'll mention that in the comment section and leave it. You decide whether you want to use Camarilla pivots or 5MZ, whichever one suits you better. I think this is the most neat and clean, less cluttered chart that you can view. And today, because the way today the graph is built, today was a great day to explain this. All right, because the kind of movement Nifty has made today, it's the best day to explain this kind of an indicator along with this kind of a combo. All right, guys, so I hope this video has been helpful to you in some form or the other. If it was, then please give this video a like,